Over the last 14 years of LEGO Ninjago's history, they have introduced tons of really cool, very unique villains into the series. Each of these villains come with a really cool theme, color scheme, and design, but which ones are the best and which ones fall behind the rest? Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my least favorite villain designs. Now, this is not going to have anything to do with how they perform in the show or what they look like in the TV series. I'm simply talking about the villain minifigure designs and how they look to have in person. And that includes not only the villain leaders, but the henchmen and regular grunt troops at the same time. It's the entire villain package today, and it's going to be an incredible video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So if you do, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. It's completely free, and you can always unsubscribe in the future if you want to. Make sure to drop a comment letting me know which of these villain designs are your least favorite. Which one do you not like? Or maybe there's one on this list that you don't like even more. So make sure to drop that down in the comment section below. I'll make sure to read through all the comments as I always do. Now, throughout Ninjago's history, there are 22 different villain groups. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking, like I said, about the worst. And we're going to start with number 12 and work our way backwards to number 22. And in a second part 2 video coming up in a couple days, we'll be talking about numbers 11 through number 1, talking about the best villains. So that's how these two videos are going to be structured, just if you're not familiar with my series and how they work. Finally, a quick reminder that all rankings in this video are my opinion. You are free and clear to like and dislike whatever villain designs you so choose. This is simply me making a fun commentary video on the ones that I dislike. Just because I dislike something does not mean I dislike you. With that being said, let's dive into today's video. And let's start out with number 12th place and work our way to number 22nd. Today's video is sponsored by myself and the brand new W merch store featuring my brand, The Real OG. The Real OG store contains 5 different merch lines that you can pick from to pick your favorite style. The first collection up is the special limited edition collection, The Cursed Collection, featuring ghostly vibes of 2015's Possession. 10 years after the release, there was no better time for me to make a special ghostly W Bricks merchandise store. Now, the other 4 collections are not limited edition, and they'll be my standard merch lines moving forward. You can pick from the Fire, the Lightning, the Ice, or the Earth collection. All 6 collections have tons of different colors that you can pick from for your sweatshirts and shirts so that you can style your outfits how you like to do so. All of these collections feature a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, sweatpants, baseball cap, beanie hat, and outdoor coat. And the Ice collection actually has double because not only did I do it in standard ice, but I did it with the pink ninja style as well. So you can pick out exactly what you like. I have now worked for over 5.5 months to create each and every one of these designs by hand, by myself, and I am so happy with how they turned out, and I really hope you guys love these designs as much as I do. You can check out the Real OG store right now in the description right below this video. There should be links directly here on this video to take you to the store. Finally, a huge thank you to everyone that has subscribed, liked, or supported my videos in any possible way. Thank you for helping to make my dreams come true. It's a huge dream to have my own clothing brand, and I finally have one. So thank you to each and every one of you. Make sure to check out the store, guys. Even if you're not interested in purchasing something, just check it out and see what you think and drop a comment below. Now let's dive right back into the video. All right, in 12th place, right in the middle of the pack, right between the best and worst, it's going to the Sons of Garmadon Season 8 minifigures. And I'm sure a lot of you are surprised because if you know me, you know Season 8 is one of my all-time favorite Ninjago seasons. And minifigures like Lord Garmadon, Harumi, Kilo, Ultraviolet, and Mr. E are absolutely stunning minifigures, but unfortunately, this is a video taking into account all of the minifigures in the faction or group of villains, not just the leaders. And the villains are pretty underwhelming once you get outside of the leaders of the group. I mean, it's basically just some random biker gang members. And while some of them have some cool designs, like the guy with the mohawk and bat from the 2018 Bricktober exclusive pack from Toys R Us, the rest of them are just really underwhelming, and there's nothing really exciting going for them. They're just plain old biker gang minifigures, you know, something you would see in a regular Lego City set. Nothing crazy here. Like I said, this actually made it up onto this list this far, or 12th place, you know, right in the middle, simply because minifigures like Mr. E and Harumi carry it. I mean, fantastic minifigures. You love to see them. Lord Garmadon and Ultraviolet here are fantastic. And of course, the Big Fig of Kilo is great as well. Those really help to carry and bring this up to 12th place, because without these minifigures, it could have definitely been in the bottom couple, since it's just so simple and nothing crazy going on with it. Let's move on to number 13. In 13th place, I'm going to have to give it to the Sky Pirates, and I'm putting these right behind the Sons of Garmadon. This was kind of back and forth for me because it's kind of the same situation we just talked about. The top villains or top leaders of these villains are very cool. Minifigures like Clancy and Nauticon are incredible minifigures, but then a lot of your extra minifigures are just plain pirate figures that we could have seen in any Pirates line for the last 20 years. While they do have some really fun, unique color schemes like the dark green and orange, I just can't rank this any higher because the ones above these are just so dang good and so unique and cool. Like I said, I really like these minifigures and they're pretty darn cool. But the minifigure distribution in the sets also isn't my favorite. Instead of getting lots of just random Sky Pirates to battle your ninja, you get a bunch of like squiffy minifigures. I mean, he is everywhere. And same with Bucko. It's just kind of there scattered all over the place instead of just giving us some other regular henchmen or grunt soldiers to fight the ninja. It seems to be the same figures over and over again. And even minifigures like Flintlock, who's obviously a really cool character in the show, is once again kind of just a regular standard pirate minifigure with nothing crazy going for him. It's really characters like Monkey Wrench, if you would even consider him a minifigure, Nauticon, Clancy, Dogshank, I can throw her in there too. Like, it's basically the same thing with Sons of Garmadon, except, you know, I kind of like the Sons of Garmadon designs a little bit better. I think they're pretty cool, but once again, it's just kind of standard figures here with these and nothing too crazy. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is actually really good. And, you know, it was kind of hard to rank this one because I didn't want to put it any higher, but I couldn't put it any lower. It's going to be the Blizzard Warriors from season 11. And I actually really like these guys. Your main villain would be Vex or Ice Emperor Zane. It's kind of difficult to rank Zane in there. But Vex, for the big leader of the Blizzard Warriors, is kind of an underwhelming figure, as he's really not very cool. It's kind of just a plain regular Blizzard Warrior minifigure that's Vex. So, you know, unlike the ones where we just talked about where they had really incredible villain minifigures, like a full stacked lineup of villain leaders there, this one really only has Ice Emperor Zane and Vex. And, you know, part of me doesn't even consider Ice Emperor Zane the real bad guy here. It's kind of Vex. But Vex's minifigure is pretty underwhelming. As for the Blizzard Warriors, though, the Blizzard Samurai, I really like these guys. They're super cool. Color schemes are fun and different. I mean, dark gunmetal gray with burgundy and then that icy blue and transparent blue. I really like that it's different and fun, but unfortunately, you want to have some really good villain leaders to kind of lead those regular troops. And Vex just is not bringing it. I mean, he looks just like a regular soldier, a foot soldier. There's nothing crazy, exciting, or cool about him. So, unfortunately, I do have to leave the Blizzard Warriors here at 14. I think if Vex would have been a lot cooler, these could have been maybe a couple more up on the list because the regular ground troops are really cool. In 15th place, I have the Sea Snakes from Seabound. And I actually really like the designs of these. The turquoise and the black is a really cool, unique design here. But unfortunately, there is just no variety to these minifigures, and so they have to go right here on the list. I do think that the dual molded aspects of these are done really well. They're a really cool figure to amass and kind of build your army with. But there's just not really much to work with here. You get your one King Kalmar, or if you buy all the sets, you get like 3 of them. So you get King Kalmar, and then you just get a couple sea serpents here, and it just isn't enough for me to get excited. I mean, you have the one with the legs that can crawl around, but that's the only variant to it, and that minifigure isn't even accurate because he's actually yellow and black in the show and not turquoise and black. So he's got more of a yellowish greenish tint in the show, and they just didn't do that accurately either. These just kind of seem kind of lazy to me, like they just did the bare minimum that they could. There's just not a lot of variety. I like to see some variety and different cool designs in it, and the villain minifigure, sure, it's cool, but there's only one of them, so you can't really do much with it. It's just kind of a plain lineup, and definitely not my favorite. Let's move on to number 16. Number 16 is going to, this is going to shock people, Season 3, the Ninjroids. And I know a lot of people are going to be gasping in the comment section right now. They're going, W, the Ninjroids, they're so cool. The Ninjroids are all right, but for me and in my personal opinion, I'm just not attached to them. Basically, when I look at the Ninjroid designs, I feel like every minifigure looks basically the same. And while there are very, very subtle changes in between them, they're just not my favorite. And while the Overlord minifigure, of course, is very cool, one of the most expensive figures, he's a great figure, I just can't carry this entire wave of figures simply because the Overlord is a cool figure. He just doesn't carry it for me. And these Ninjroids kind of popped up in Legacy. They came back for the Day of the Departed, and I just get tired of seeing the same old silver and black design over and over again. They don't look really cool to display. It's just kind of boring. It's just not my favorite. The hood design is really cool, but the rest of it just isn't my favorite. I like vibrancy on my shelves when it comes to Lego Ninjago. I like to see splashes of color and cool colors and concepts there. And this just isn't it for me personally. So unfortunately, it has to be ranked here in 16th place. Man, I know somebody's going crazy in the comments. They're like, I hate UW. I love my Ninjroids. Yeah, well, I'm glad you love them, but for me, just not it. Next up, in 17th place, I'm giving it to the Oni from Season 10. Now, obviously, we got 3 Oni minifigures. There is nothing special going on here. I think if we would have had an actual wave of these, then it would have been a lot cooler, but they just didn't even try here. I mean, they didn't even try for Season 10. They made 3 designs and said, all right, we're good. We're good. Pack it up. Now, it is this far up on the list because the designs are really, really cool. I mean, they look very nice, but I can't put 3 minifigures up the top when they did the bare minimum. I mean, they didn't even try here. They really did not even try with Season 10, which, I mean, it reflects both the TV show and the Lego sets. They just really didn't think it through very much. Unfortunately, Oni has to be here at 17th place. Man, they're cool. These minifigures are cool, but there's just not enough to work with here. I mean, they literally did nothing. So let's move on to number 18. All right, 18th place, it's going to Imperium from Dragons Rising Season 1. And there are definitely some designs here that I really like, but when it comes to the minifigures, they're just kind of underwhelming, especially because we don't really see most of them in the TV show, which I found just really disheartening and kind of made you not want to purchase the figures. So when it comes to the Claws of Imperium, the all gold soldier here, guys, they look cool. They look all right, different, unique helmet, but just not my favorite look. And then you had the general for them with like the black helmet that doesn't exist. And then you had like the regular foot soldiers or whatever, which were cool. And then you could only get one of them. And then you get multiple of the general one with the black armor instead. And that one doesn't exist, so that's kind of confusing. Beatrix is fine. She's all right. Lord Raz here is a really, really cool minifigure. He's got the arm printing, but still not my favorite color scheme here, matching his little, like, pinkish purple arms with burgundy and gold. Not my favorite combo. And then Raptin looks fine, but Raptin's, like, top 5 least favorite characters of Ninjago ever, and I don't even want to see this dude. So I'm really just underwhelmed by these minifigures. I remember being underwhelmed by them in 2023 when they came out. And you really just don't get enough of them to really amass an army. I like at the same time to really amass your army and soldiers to be able to battle out your ninja minifigures. And you really just get a ton of repeats of Lord Raz, Raptin, Beatrix in this. And then just a few of the actual soldiers that the ninja fights. So just kind of an underwhelming wave for me. Nothing crazy. And the color scheme, black and gold, while it's cool and simple, it's just that. It's kind of simple, and I like kind of the crazier color schemes and ideas, so this just can't be my favorite. It's definitely in that 18th place for me. Let's move on to number 19. In 19th place, I'm giving it to the Fire Snakes from Season 11, Part 1. Oh man, these guys are all over the place. I like the concept of these. I think they're cool. They're like the pyro snakes. But unfortunately, minifigures like Esphira are some of the worst designed figures that we've ever seen. And she is so inaccurate. The fact that they didn't even give her a snake tail is nuts. I don't even know where the ghost tail came from. They could have done some like fiery regular snake tail and just changed the colors on it to like transparent orange or gold or something. This is crazy. She doesn't even look like a ghost, you know? She's got the fire around her, but the ghost tail is nuts, and the fact that they doubled down on that in the future and did it again is crazy to me. But the snake tail missing here is just beyond crazy. I mean, it completely ruins this really cool minifigure. All they had to do was give her the long golden ghost tail and then put some like orange accents on it. She would have been really cool. These would have been pushed up way higher on this list. They'd be liked far more overall. Huge mistake on LEGO's part to do that. As for the designs of the other one, Char is a really cool minifigure, and I do like the pyro snakes, but unfortunately, the dark kind of bronzy brown that they use for the scales on the snakes doesn't match well with the transparent orange eyes. The whole point of these is that you were supposed to see like the transparent orange dual molded aspects into the heads of these designs, and you can't really see it because the bronzy brown is just too dark to really see that transparent orange shine. And unfortunately, that just didn't work in person, and it kind of brings back the overall design aspect for these figures. I really like the heads for these snakes. They're different and cool and unique, but I just think it wasn't executed to the fullest extent that they could have. This is kind of where we start to see that laziness kind of creep in for LEGO Ninjago, and we start to see that kind of downward spiral in quality. And I think if they would have just maybe not done transparent orange for the eyes and the highlights on these figures, it could have been a lot cooler. If they would have done maybe just a regular bright orange or something where you could really see it. Instead, it looks like they just don't really have eyes in there if the light's not hitting them perfectly. So just kind of unfortunate. It's a cool concept. It's just they totally did half the job they were supposed to. They started it and then they quit halfway through, unfortunately. Let's move on to number 20. Next up here, I have the Island Keepers from Season 14. Once again, very underwhelming for these figures. I've talked about Season 14 to a pretty large extent because I think that they really set up a crazy cool new area, ambience, whatever you want to call it. They did a really good job setting or world building this whole new island setting. And then they just did like absolutely nothing with it. I mean, it was crazy. What on earth? And then, unfortunately, these minifigures don't actually even really look like what they do in the TV show. I mean, when I'm watching the show, I want to basically take that minifigure out of the show and have it sitting on my shelf. And the colors that they picked for this were just not it. It doesn't reflect the TV show at all. They picked like the lightest, prettiest little lavender they could for these, but they're more of a magenta, glowy, transparent purple or purpley, light purple in the show, not lavender at all. It's crazy to me. They've got this super cool skin tone and color scheme in the show, and then they just didn't reflect that into the Lego set. Absolutely crazy to me. I just didn't understand it. While some of these tiki or island designs are very, very cool, they just didn't execute this, unfortunately, to the fullest capability that they could have. The light lavender just doesn't work for me. And once again, there's just not a lot to work with here. You know, you get a couple different minifigure variants. Still crazy to me that we have more minifigure variants of this than we do of the Oni, which is, that's crazy. And like the Chief is a great minifigure, but the other three, they're pretty standard for what you would expect from an island or tiki themed season. I just feel like they kind of didn't follow through once again with this. Like, they had the really great concept. The guys animating the show did a great job. But when it came to the minifigure designs, they just really let it fall flat. And they didn't finish the job by actually making the purple match what you see in the TV show. I think that if the purple would have matched, these minifigures would have been so cool and so unique. Everybody would have gone crazy for them. I mean, imagine like a marbly mix of like transparent purple and like a magenta-y color. I mean, they can make any new color they want. They could do anything they want. They just chose not to. In 21st place, second to last place here, I have Prime Empire. And I love Prime Empire. I love the Prime Empire sets, but unfortunately, the villains are all over the place. At least to this point, most of the villains really matched themselves. Like when they would be on a shelf together, when you'd collect them or if you'd play with them, they all kind of match, you know? They all have that kind of same color scheme. But when it comes to these minifigures, it's like Lego color vomited all over the place. Unagami and the red visors are an incredible design to go together. But when you throw in the pack rats and then the sushi chef on top of it, I mean, the colors are just everywhere. And I think the one that spins me the wrong way the most is going to be the sand green pack rat dude. When it comes to that video game, futuristic, cyber feel, the color scheme of sand green just is not doing it for me at all, especially when you can compare it to the bright teal and red and black and pink that we see on other figures. And then boom, this one's sand green. It just kind of breaks it up for me, and it just feels like color vomit all over the place. I think that if they would have kept the color scheme roughly the same for all of these villains, like we see in basically every season, it would have been a lot better, you know? It would have been a lot cooler. But these just don't work out for me whatsoever. It's just kind of all over the place. The designs are cool, but still not very cool. And once again, if you bought like all the Prime Empire sets, you only get like 3 red visors, and they're your main villains of the wave. I mean, I shouldn't be receiving 2 Unagamis and 3 red visors for an entire wave. I mean, it needs to be distributed a little bit better than that. I also got tons of the pack rat guys. I get like 3 of the sand green one, 2 or 3 of the pink ones. Like, distribute it better. They should have made the pack rats more of exclusive minifigures. Someone like, you know, just a regular, the Harumi in the orange jumpsuit, you know, something like that. Just a regular side character in there. I mean, you could even consider her a villain in this. I didn't even think about that. You could consider that Harumi a villain in this, and that once again adds more color vomit of the like bright orangey yellow jumpsuit. It's just all over the place. Also, the sushi chef has some of the worst printing we have ever seen on a Ninjago minifigure. I mean, he looks more pink in person than he does red and white. It is absolutely crazy. Overall, there's some cool designs like with the red visors here, but it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't flow properly. It feels like color vomit, and it feels like it's just all over the place here. And that is really unfortunate. Now let's move on to dead last place. And in dead last place, 22nd place, it's going to the Season 13 Awoken Warriors, the skeletons from Master of the Mountain. And you might be saying, W, what? These guys are cool. They are cool. I just wish we could actually get some minifigures of them. For the entire wave of sets. Remember, there's hundreds of these guys in the show. You buy all the sets. You have to buy the 2 most expensive sets to get 2 and 1 of these minifigures. At the most, you can get 3 of these figures from these sets, which is crazy. It is crazy. You get like 4 geckos, 4 monks or whatever, and you get 3 skeletons. These are the main villains here of the wave. Once again, just like the red visors last time, I was just blown away that there was only 3 of these. It's a huge fault of Season 13 sets, unfortunately. They're very cool, but they're also kind of just the same thing we've seen before. You know, the skeletons have already been done, so just bringing back the skeletons again and just having them wake back up and rebuild themselves, just not a unique concept. Like I said at the beginning, I'm looking for unique, cool designs. Also, these just being plain black with a little tinge of green in there. Once again, no vibrant, cool colors, nothing crazy. It's just kind of the most plain, boring, and run-of-the-mill villain we've ever seen. I mean, this is something that you see in just a random fantasy castle line. It's just a regular skeleton. It's not like the other skeletons where at least they've got the different patterns and designs on them to kind of go with each of their little factions within the skeletons. This is just nothing there. It's nothing there, and unfortunately. The Skull Sorcerer is really cool, but one good figure does not carry against an entire wave. I mean, he's cool, but he ain't that cool. And I mean, he's a pretty rough villain anyways. I don't think anyone ever understood what his problem was to begin with, but overall, Awoken Warriors and Skull Sorcerer had to take number 22nd place as the worst villain faction, worst design I can see. I mean, these just are not it, unfortunately. With that being said, guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe with the notification bell on so you don't miss when I drop part 2 of this, the greatest villain designs within just a few days. Make sure to drop a comment down below letting me know which villain designs are your least favorite. Is there any that weren't on this list today that you think should have been over here onto this list? Thank you guys for clicking on this video and watching it here till the end. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day today, and I'll see y'all later on W Breaks.